Okay, alright. We are back once again. Now then, let's continue with Volume 7, Route 2. Let's check out the warnings on this one. Hanging, accidental death, drug use. Well, okay, that's a little... Alright, that seems like it'll be a bit more... bit potentially a little... Might actually be something as opposed to most of the other ones, but I suppose that's what we'll have to. We'll get to it once we get to it then. Alright. Volume 7, Route 2. A fair trial. Alright. So, it's a cool, breezy evening. Violet leaves crunch under your feet as you stroll casually through a dense and inviting forest. Not an environment you're used to on this planet, that's for certain, for sure. You should be lapping up the serenity like a thirsty dog at the Zen fountain. Instead, you're brooding. Oh, why are we brooding? Come on now, things could be worse, we could be dead. Instead, we are, alive. And healthy, relatively speaking. So many new friends, all of them a special breed of sad. Well, okay, yes, there's that, I guess. I suppose there's that. I suppose there is that, yes. You don't like seeing sad people, so you've done everything in your power to fix them. Slumber party, matchmaking, throwing a giant spider into a volcano. The smiles your new friends greet you with are all the proof you need that you've been doing good work. And yes, there's that. And yet, the world is still kind of fucked up, so... there's only so much that we can actually do. You can't help but wonder how much of a difference any of this really makes. I mean, they are just teenagers ultimately in this world, and higher powers are, well, always a bit higher. So I don't think there's that much that we can do. Especially unalternatively, exactly. You've gathered that even if one of these kids avoids being murdered by an insectoid eugenics robot, they'll just wind up conscripted into a lifetime of military service under a colonial empire. Which makes it really hard to believe that inducing a few bouts of revelatory catharsis will ultimately amount to much. I mean, ultimately, it is the little things that matter in the long run. The little things, just the little things. They pile up, you do enough of the little things, and it becomes a really big thing. It's a depressing thought, and you're not entirely sure what to do with it, which is why you came out here. Nothing better for the soul than a nature hike, right? It's not a bad idea. Change of environment, really. That's what it's all about. You change the environment, you refocus your brain completely like that. Maybe after a nice long walk, you'll come out right as... Hey, is that a treehouse? Ooh, treehouses are fun. Ouch is right, criminal. Great, more shenanigans. Indeed. We like shenanigans, though. They're fun. You won't lie and say the prospect of making friends with a spooky shark in glaringly red shades isn't appealing, but criminal doesn't leave a great taste in your mouth. When you try to move, well, you don't, because you're tied to a chair. Strike 2 on the bad taste scorecard. Probably shouldn't stick around for strike 3. In a moment of uncharacteristic self-preservation, you close your eyes and attempt to zap away. But you can't. Oh, why not? Your head hurts and your vision is still kinda hazy, which might imply brain damage on account of your surprise wanging. With your luck, that probably means your superpowers are permanently broken. Typical. Oh well, it was good while they lasted. Looking up at your captor again, you can't help thinking the specs are a bit extra. What kind of loser wears big angular sunglasses like that anyway? Oi. Don't insult Kamina. You'd certainly be one to judge if you had the legal authority to do so. A fashionable dress like that with blood as deliciously red as yours. The hypocrisy on you stinks like vagrant pus. Gross. Geez, what's up with these aliens and their hang-ups about blood? Ha 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 ha. Hang-ups. Gallow humor is an admirable quality. But such crowd-pleasing theatrics will not spare you from the full weight of the law. A bizarre tableau unfolds before you. Stuffed dragons in benches, big angry monsters, empty noose dangling next to a window. Looks like you just wandered into a courtroom drama. Much to your relief, your kidnapper isn't a shark, and you have to admit the glasses do come together in the ensemble. They do, indeed. But it is instead a short, stocky troll girl in a short-sleeved turtleneck and a pair of garish red Crocs. The fashion on this one is staggering, especially with the... is that a sword cane with a dragon's head? It certainly is. Excellent choice, I would say. It is, because I'm blind and cool. Oh, neat. But make no mistake, I don't need... I don't need... eyes. Damn, that language fucks me up sometimes. And we have background noises. Oh no, that's unfortunate. Oh well, I don't need eyes. I don't need eyes to smell how guilty you taste. Wow, is every sentence that tumbles out of this troll's mouth going to be weird and uncomfortable? Yes. But enough from you, cherry cheeks. His honorable tyranny will only tolerate so much banter before holding you in contempt. You might be developing some contempt yourself, if you're being honest. Well, unless you want to be squeezed until your organs burst from your eyes, you'll can the backtalk and let the prosecution get to work. Is that what being held in contempt means? Fine. You guess you'll be polite and stop interrupting. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Right. Now we have the preamble out of the way. There's a ding from her computer, and her posture immediately switches from confident to frustrated. Hold on. She strides over to her husk top, right, tapping the gleaming edge of her cane in front of her as she goes. You wonder what kind of miraculous accessibility contraption exists on this planet that the blind person can just use. Is she licking the monitor? Okay, that's a very peculiar accessibility feature. Okay, I was not expecting that. That kind of caught me off guard completely. What? I couldn't keep it up. Oh well, we'll go back to it. We'll go back to this voice now. Yes, she's licking her filthy fucking computer monitor, just slathering it up with her teal-tinted saliva, going at it like a husband greeting his wife after 20 years at sea, for fuck's sake. God damn it. Alright. Jesus Christ. Why? Sorry, give me a second. No problem, you say. Not like you're going anywhere. Ha ha ha. Okay, she's distracted. That'll be a great time to go somewhere. Your powers still seem to be on the fritz, but you think the weight of your incredible ass might shatter this chair if you could get some leverage. Oh. Let's humor her. Come on now. Let's wait until she licks the message. Let's just wait it out. We haven't committed any crimes yet. Let's wait it out. You decide best to wait this out. The sword and noose are a bit worrying, but with the plush toys and chalk drawings, it strikes you that this is probably the closest thing Alternia has to a tea party, which would be adorable if it weren't so depressing. Playing along seems like a prime friend-making activity. Besides, whoever got hurt in a court of law? Bad point. After a few brusque keystrokes, she strolls back to her place in the center of the room. Not a word and half of a sweep and now she won't shut up. You ask who she was talking to. Just some dumb angry girl who needs to leave me alone until the heat death of the universe. Who even cares anyway? Not me, that's who. Where were we? Crimes? Crimes! Yeah. You're here today to face the highest justice under my authority as Premier League affiliated legislator. That's a lot. That's just too many numbers in there. That really fucked me up. In training of this honorable tyranny court. And it is with said authority that I accuse you of that most grievous of crimes against the empire of her imperious condescension. Uh-oh. What crime would that possibly be? Breaking and entering. We didn't break anything. Well, okay, we might have. Doping with a clown. You guess she could technically nail down as an accomplice to murder, but...
The crime of existing.
What? You're waiting for the other shoe to drop, but the damn thing just seems to be stuck up there. What did she say about being in training? You're beginning to wonder if this is, what did she say called? Solicitor? Prosecutioner? Public dexterist? You're beginning to wonder if this murder lawyer actually knows what the hell she's talking about. It doesn't matter.
You think I'm making this up? Do I really look like the kind of girl who would randomly commit unprompted and unjustified murder on a whim?
Maybe. Look, you've met some weird fucking trolls on this planet, and they all seem to have a pretty laissez-faire attitude about murder, so...
No, you know what? Fine. If you're gonna be a pedantic, snot-tubbed little wiggler about it, I'll just recite the whole fucking law verbatim. Article 5, subsection 11, paragraph 68 of the second new Codes of Alternate Jurisprudence describes your crimes as being, having been, or possessing the capacity to be in need of material resource consumption for the purpose of curtailing biological expiry, existing in, of, around, or through imperial territory, as one of unclassified sanguination mutant, one of extrasolar origination, alien, or one who plans to commit, has committed, or may possess the capacity to commit high crimes and fish demeanors against her imperial condescension, criminal.
Fish demeanors? What?
There, happy now.
Could you elaborate on fish demeanors? Dang, this girl really knows her stuff.
Of course I do. I'm not some fly-by-lunar cycle troll slaughterer consultant. I'm a fucking professional.
Clearly. How could you question her expertise on the subject of what is and is not technically a crime when there's so many books piled up haphazardly? You definitely are existing as an alien, after all. And you guess that does by definition make you a criminal. And from the look of that noose, you doubt the punishment is something as quaint as being thrown in the slammer. So is there an appeals process or... She springs forward with surprising agility and presses her face right up against yours, sniffing you with alarming enthusiasm.
Your game of candied apple ignorance may convince the scrambled clown fuckers in the cheap seats, but I smell the deception dripping off you like a delicious marmalade. You'll have to do better than this if you really want to.
She sniffs.
Want to?
She sniffs again. We have no motive.
Did Kana make this dress?
Oh, look, an out. Yeah, you say. You and her are great friends. The best. In fact, you think she should message Kana right now to clear all this up. You know, like a character witness.
I've witnessed your character plenty and it's as bland as they come.
That's fair. That's certainly not the worst contemplative noise you've ever heard.
I may have misjudged you. If you tell anyone I said that, I'm going to cut off your arms and use them to finger paint bulges on your face until you bleed to death.
You decided keeping this pointlessly mundane secret is definitely in your best interest. So, does this mean you're free to go?
Not so fast. May have implies possibility, not certainty. Maybe Kana gave you this dress because she likes you, or maybe you pressured her into circumstantiality. Maybe you're a delightfully clueless and well-intentioned interloper from beyond the stars. Or maybe you were sent here as a sleeper agent to learn all our weaknesses so that the entities controlling you can sabotage our future. In cases such as these, I find the best course of action is to leave the verdict up to chance.
Up chance? She produces a double-headed coin with one side scratched out, and you immediately know exactly where this is going.
The terms are simple. Heads and I release you from your bonds. Tails and I release you from being alive.
Is she really about to take you out like a gangster who just betrayed their duality-themed mob boss? Indeed, two-faced. We're gonna get two-faced. Before you can request a less set to demonic cartoon solution, she flips the coin into the air. Well, this is bad. It's bad, and it kind of makes you angry. This doesn't make sense. You didn't do anything. But here you are with a 50-50 chance of getting murked by a jovial gremlin anyway. Does she think this is normal? Your head is cleared enough that you could zap away if you really tried, but something about this murder lawyer is stuck in your craw. Her devotion to justice is obvious, but it's a twisted and brutal justice, streamlined for violence and painfully efficient in enabling exactly that. If this mock trial is anything to go by, this is the same system that requires insectoid eugenics robots to keep the peace, after all. There's so much wrong here, and she doesn't even see it. Like, metaphorically see it. The coin is falling. Every rotation brings you closer to a fate that, regardless of outcome, wouldn't be fair. You decide to think about what should be fair. Just like that, you're standing next to her. With a scream, you snatch her coin out of the air and hurl it full force through the window. My coin! Sorry, you shout, but she can't expect you to just accept the whims of chance when your life is on the line. Why not? Because that sucks. It's lame and dumb and really cliche. What is she, a comic book villain? Am I supposed to know what that is? You don't know. Troll culture seems to have a lot of really arbitrary similarities to human culture, and it's honestly very confusing. But that's beside the point. With a broad sweep of your arm, you gesture at her drawing of the honorary Tyrannosaurus or whatever, and ask what he would think of your little stunt just now. The trial isn't for him. We act like it is, but everyone knows he's just a big hungry monster. Huh? Then who? It's for the audience, obviously. By the time you make it to the stand, you're basically dead already. Don't the accused get a chance to defend themselves? Defend? Ha! Only the outrageously guilty would ever think to defend themselves in the court of law. Wow, that's fucked up. What's the point of even having a trial then? Besides the sheer pleasure of watching all the hope slowly drain from someone's eyes as they confront their imminently approaching and inevitably gruesome execution. Yeah, besides that. It's a warning to the seditious of what happens when they cross the line. And that line is, existing? Yep. The nonchalance of her answer underlines just how upsetting all of this really is. You remember the law she recited, and one part in particular sticks out to you. Unclassifiable sanguination. Didn't Karka try to commiserate with you about having mutant blood or something? You know Karka too? I keep waiting for him to fuss about team leaders, but now he won't shut up about this thing he calls, also Dave. Everyone was so worked about the game, and now they're just over it suddenly. Yeah, that's your fault. Karka would probably have a nuclear conniption if he knew you were about to say this, but you ask her if she's aware of his blood color. Of course I'm aware of it. What do you think I am? Blind? Yes. Karkat's a mutant, right? If you remember correctly, that makes him guilty of the same crime you are. Her expression turns sour, and you can tell this is something she spent a lot of time trying not to think about. You figure she avoided summarily executing you because you're friends with her friends, so she would probably avoid killing Karkat as well. And that's a good thing. Great, in fact. You cannot stress enough how awesome that is. But doesn't that strike her as a bit of hypocritical? Making exceptions for her friends. I mean, that's the law. That's politics for you. Exceptions, hypocrisy. That's part of it. It has to be. Because no laws are perfect. And in cases like these, in a tyrannical world like this, laws are deliberately arbitrary. Their execution, application, enforcement, that's part of it, unfortunately. Does she think that everyone else who dies at court or gets culled in their own hives deserves what they get, just because she doesn't know them personally? It doesn't matter what I think. This is just how things are. It sucks, but it would suck a lot worse to be killed for saying so. And then who would protect Karkat? Who would protect? I can't help everyone, Cherry Cheeks. I can barely help my friends. Maybe if I stick to it long enough, I can change things from the inside. That's the best any of us can hope for. You guess that doesn't sound like the worst plan. In fact, it kind of reminds you of who? You feel a sadness well up in your heart so fast and heavy that it knocks you over into her. And without meaning to, you zap. Your vision is swimming. Voices echo in your head, but you can't pick any of them out. You look around and something is watching you. Not maliciously, not yet. Just observing from a curious distance. Not that you can do anything about it while you're clutching your head and trying to put your memories together. You've been circling around this awful familiar feeling ever since you left Earth, drawn towards it like a singularity. But the closer you get, the less it makes sense.
What the fuck just happened? Did you kill me just now? Is this troll hell?
Troll hell. Do trolls not have an actual name for... Wait, she's here too?
Here? Seems like an ambitious description. It's more of an ambiguous nexus of metaphysical realities.
That's an awfully specific description. Has she been here before?
No, but I've tasted places like this in my dreams.
Great, even more shenanigans. You look around and try to get your bearings, but nothing seems to be in focus. It's all too... low resolution. Simultaneously too bright and too dark to make sense of.
You okay over there, Cherry Cheeks? Your blood smells really loud right now.
You wouldn't know how to react to that even if you weren't having a memory-induced thought seizure. The pieces are too far apart and you can't quite put it together, but you remember. Friends? Bits of memory hit you. Sudden flashes of joy, of violence, smiling faces, crying faces, bodies, plans. Hope that the world could be made into a better place.
What the fuck are you mumbling about? If you've fried your think pan, at least let me in on it so I can participate.
You tell her what you can remember, which isn't much. Friends, sadness, dissatisfaction, people who were deeply unhappy with the state of Alternia and faced violence from all sides, just as your new friends do today. Some of them wanted to change it from the inside, and you remember believing that they could. But you get the sense that a lot of time has passed between now and then, and it doesn't seem like Alternia has gotten much better. In fact, it may have gotten worse. It seems like whatever it is your friends tried to do, that they failed.
Of course they did.
What does she mean by that?
Even in the context of your nonsense, the time-traveling amnesia cover story, it's not hard to believe. Compelling idiots have good ideas all the time. That doesn't change the fact that they're idiots. Which is why I'm going to succeed where everyone else had their entrails ripped out by a swarm of drones and died like the scrubs they were. I am many things, Cherry Cheeks. An idiot isn't one of them. Yeah.
She flashes a bright and pointed smile, filled with a confidence that you believe with every atom in your body. But you're pretty sure she's not the first person to make you feel that way. Idiots or not, the friends you used to have were just as sure of themselves then as she is now. And what good did it do? Honestly, you doubt that intelligence or competence has much to do with it at all. You think about the drones you barely avoided at Karkat's Hive, and your brief exposure to what this planet calls a criminal justice system. For as violent and unjust as things could be on Earth, at least there was some pretext that the system existed to serve the people. Here, it's just murder. You're unsure that's a system that anyone can salvage. Your smile melts into a frown, and you really should ask what this troll's name is.
Huh. Terezi, by rope.
Terezi doesn't sound particularly happy. As she slumps against the debatedly extant wall and slides down into a crouch, her face is a mask of barely contained emotion.
I can tell why Karkat would like you. You're very depressing.
You chuckle and sit down at a respectable distance away from her. You definitely don't mean to be depressing, but you have a knack for digging up drama. The hazards of forging new friendships, you guess.
If Riska saw us right now, she'd derisively laugh herself into an aneurysm.
Terezi knows Riska?
That's one way to put it. We were practically sisters before she broke the rules and ruined everything. How do you know her?
Oh, you know, you played some flarp, killed some kids, felt guilty about it, threw Riska's mom into a volcano.
Wow, you really have gotten around. What's a mom?
You'd think that was just about the saddest thing you ever heard get said if you didn't already know what a Lucis was.
You killed her, Lucis? So that explains why she's been messaging me. Ha! Ha 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 ha!
Terezi's laughing, but it doesn't sound like any laughter you've ever heard.
I can't fucking believe it. Sick, I figured her shit out just in time for me to have my own identity crisis. And I bet she thinks everything's supposed to be fine between us now just because. Want to know a secret, Cherry Cheeks?
Might as well add another one to the pile, you say.
I have no idea what I'm doing. I never have, and now I don't think I ever will.
Wow, that's bleak. You guess you're sorry?
It's not your fault. You haven't told me anything I didn't already know.
Her lips are trembling as she reaches behind her and pulls out a box of chalk, and then removes a red piece. You think this is a weird time for artistic expression, but... oh, she's eating it. Terezi offers you a piece. You don't want to be rude, but you also really don't want to eat chalk. She shrugs and crunches on it like unshelled lobster. You guess you have to take that in stride. The more important thing is that Terezi is inconsolably sad, which sucks because you're the only person in a position to console her. Oh, these choices. Give her a distraction or give her a hug. Hugs are nice. Hugs are always nice, but... Let's give her a hug. Hugs are nice. You don't know how to fix this. You don't know how to make Terezi feel better. The best you can think to do is put your arms around her. Despite the fact that you're a complete stranger who basically just kidnapped her, she welcomes the embrace.
I hated her for what she did. Not to me, but to our friends. All but went to war over it. After our truce, we cut ties. My hope was that she would avoid hurting anyone else. But deep down I knew I would have to kill her eventually. In the name of justice. She did terrible things, but so did I. We did some of them together. Why wasn't I culpable? Why did I blame her for something we did to each other?
You think it's regrettably natural to blame the person in front of you when you get hurt, especially when the real problem is too big and esoteric to stab through the chest with a sword cane.
Vriska did what she did because she had to. So did I. We both deserved the revenge we wrought on each other, but we were all victims of the big picture. It made us what we are, ensured we wouldn't do what we did. Every little injustice started there. And when we fight, whoever painted that picture smiles and laughs, because they know they've already won.
She sits up a little straighter, and you feel your spine follow suit almost on its own.
Fuck that.
Oh. Terezi slips out of your arms and stands up, pulling you to your feet with her. Her entire demeanor has changed. She's practically vibrating with
determination. Take me to Vriska's hive. I'm assuming that's a thing you can do.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing you can do. Your mind is still buzzing, but talking to Terezi has calmed that storm just enough for you to focus. As you take your hand, you spare a last look around this bizarre, impossible space. You still feel watched, but it's distant now, maybe even approving. You have so many questions, but those will have to wait. Right now, you've got work to do. Zap. Before you even see where you've landed, Terezi marches up to a very surprised Vriska and backs her up against the wall. She stops just a few feet away, looking up at the cerulean spider girl with anger on her face. Despite their difference in stature, Vriska is intimidated. You caught her off guard, and Terezi is unflinching. The room is completely silent. You see Terezi clenching her fists. She looks one wrong move away from unleashing hell. This isn't quite what you had in mind when you brought her here, and you really hope your new friends aren't about to fight each other. Something in the air changes. You aren't entirely sure what's happening, but something is definitely happening, and you figure it's best to just cross your arms and pretend you don't exist. Terezi's posture softens. Her hands relax as she breathes a soft sigh. Vriska straightens up, letting her own tension dissipate. You guess you're feeling a little less tense yourself? When Vriska cracks a hesitant smile, Terezi leans back. She's sniffing the air intensely, which feels like a good sign. Everyone's getting a little looser, a little more casual. Definitely an improvement. Then they both start cackling, slapping their knees like they've just heard the most hilarious knock-knock joke in history. He'd sure like to get in on the joke, but you figured it'd probably be rude to ask. And then they hug. Hugs are nice. You're not exactly sure what just happened, but you figure hugging it is a powerful platonic friend activity even in the worst of times. It's gotten you this far, after all. Yeah, that's all this is. Just two gal pals hugging it out. It's so sweet you could cry. When they separate, Terezi meanders over to a window overlooking the pit where Vriska's Lucis used to live.
So she's dead? Oh yeah, I'm real broken up about it too.
Vriska winks at you.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. Terezi turns and leans up against the windowsill.
You have a lot to make up for.
That's why I've been messaging you.
I want to apologize, okay? I don't want your apology, Vriska. I have a lot to make up for too.
There's definitely some kind of something going on in this room that you're completely oblivious to. You wonder what went down between these girls that they can't even talk about what they're talking about.
What do you mean? There's so much injustice in this world. Every drop of deliciously innocent and painfully extracted blood on this planet is just paint for the fishy fucks up top to play with. And the worst part is that we're complicit. We revel in it, even. I reveled in it.
Terezi, are you...
They could never make this violence good, so they had to make it fun. And I had so much fun hurting people. Who knows how long I would have gone on like that if I hadn't been for our weird invasive species of friend here.
Terezi wipes a tear from her cheek and smiles at you, and you feel a huge wave of relief. Friends, with a former murder lawyer in training. You sure know how to pick 'em.
For once, Vriska, I want to revel in something good. I want them to feel the razor edge of their own justice. I want their blood to stain the dirt beneath my feet like the pathetic wiggling insects they are. But I can't do it alone. I don't want to do it alone.
You watch as Terezi takes in a measured breath. For just a moment you can imagine her standing in a room full of determined people, just behind the person everyone else would call leader, smiling a wicked smile. She's not the one who commands the stage, you think. She's the one who controls the spotlight. She's the one who knows what happens next.
I'm not sure what we're together anymore. I've hated you. I've felt a lot of things. What I know is that we're dangerous. And fate seems determined to make us rivals. That almost sounds fun, doesn't it? We could fight for the rest of our lives if we wanted to. Each the scourge of the other until one or both of us wind up dead. It tells stories about us for a long time. But I don't want that to happen anymore. Do you?
No. You haven't known Vriska very long, but this is the side of her you've never seen. You doubt many people have. It's actually really awkward. You should probably go, but your prying curiosity and desire for interpersonal closure keeps you glued to the spot.
We had the right idea in the wrong circumstances. But this time, I think we can really do something together. So, let's try this again. Vriska, will you be my scourge sister? Yeah, obviously. Good. Let's get to fucking work.
They share a look that you can't quite read, but you get the feeling that this was a resounding success.
Scourge sisters unite.
Yeah. Sure. They seem like very dangerous individuals together. Alright. Excellent. Well. Cool. Excellent. Now then. That was that. Okay. Only doing that kind of voice once. You're not getting a soft-spoken me again. Not like that, at least. Not extra soft-spoken. No, that's only happening once. Never again. At least not for this one. Not for Pesterquest. One and done. Now then, I need a little moment. I just need a little moment, and then I'll be back.